I think it's probably best I do this video soft-spoken just because I feel like it might feel a little bit odd to whisper it. Hello. Hi. It's nice to see you again. Yeah, I haven't really planned exactly what I was going to say in this video. I just felt like you all deserved an explanation as to, what's been going on. And, if you don't follow me on Instagram, then you will more than likely be none the wiser as to where I've been or why I've been gone. So, I haven't made a plan. But I guess I'll let you know that there are two different reasons as to why I've been gone. The first reason, and the initial reason that I left, was because for the past about 6 months I've been dealing with a stalker situation. It's been cyber stalking, so it's been online. And for a long time I pushed it off. But then the last few weeks before I decided to stop making videos, I really started to believe as though this person wasn't fully sound of mind, and that I potentially was not only in danger, but also I just felt really uncomfortable and really threatened in terms of like how far he'd gone into this. So I'll explain a little bit in detail as to like what has actually gone on. Obviously I can't really give you too much information because I still have to protect his identity, just because I believe that this person is mentally ill. I don't think that this person is a bad person. I just think that they are mentally ill and they're going through some things, and I've just gotten caught in their firing line essentially. So that is what happened. Then I was intending to, sorry if my stomach grumbles quite a bit, I haven't eaten yet. Then the second reason is I was intending to come back early last week, and well, sort of mid last week, and I'd planned to. I felt like, okay, I'm not gonna let that thing bother me anymore. This is what I want to do. And then we got an email on, I think it was either Wednesday night or Thursday night, and we received a threat of a cease and desist by a large company in the UK, threatening to sue us if we do not close our business down. Now, if you aren't aware, me and my boyfriend Matt have made a small online bakery company. It's something that I have dreamt of doing my entire childhood. It's what I wanted to do. I grew up watching my mum make wedding cakes when I was like between the ages of birth to about 7 years old. She stopped because she went to go and do childcare. So something that I always knew I wanted to do, and baking makes me so happy. So we made a company called Cookie and Squidge. We had literally been open for 2.5 weeks. We're getting a couple of orders. Things are slow because obviously with every business it starts off slow, but we were feeling positive and really excited, and we loved baking. We were working. First week we worked about 45 hours baking and packaging and everything. And then we got the cease and desist and we had to close. So these are the two reasons. I will go into more detail about those two reasons. But yeah, that's why I've been gone. If you aren't aware, I have suffered the past, I would say, 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, really badly with my mental health. It's something that I sort of brush off a lot because I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but in the UK it's quite difficult to get support with it, in terms of like with your doctors and stuff. So it's been difficult, and I've been in sort of a really fragile state. This year's not been my year, and things have sort of like, you know, built on top of each other, and then not being happy with where we live, and you know, trying to find positives of things, and then this stalker thing happening. Everything's just sort of been coming on top of me, and it actually made me want to quit. The stalker situation made me want to walk away from ASMR completely, which is really upsetting. Because I don't want to get upset, because I want this to be a relaxing video so you can at least listen to it without me getting upset. What was I saying? So, when I started my ASMR channel, it was, you know, sort of something that I did purely just because it was fun, and I had a bit of spare time on my hands, and I never intended for it to get this big. Of course, I'm so grateful that it is this big, and I'm so grateful for all of you for supporting me. But what you have to understand is, when I started ASMR wasn't a big thing. It was sort of, I remember me and Matt having the discussion of, well, if I can get 1,000 views per video, won't that be amazing? That was sort of what I was aiming for. I didn't want to be, you know, sort of thrusted into the public eye of the internet so much, and that was naive of me in hindsight, because, you know, you put yourself out there, you should sort of know what, you know, you could potentially expect to receive. But obviously, like in the past, I've had scary experiences with some subscribers who have sort of blurred the boundaries and been quite inappropriate. But that's what I thought that this instance was. So as I said, it started about 6 months ago. The emails started coming in. That's the thing, is he's never contacted me on any other social media, never contacted me through any comment sections or anything like that. So he just started emailing me, which I get sometimes. Sometimes people email me like really strange, long, detailed things that are sort of scary, but you expect it, and usually if you just don't reply, you might get a couple, and then it sort of stops in maybe a week or two. But this just kept going and going on, and the past 3 months I've been receiving about 20 to 30 emails a day, and they started getting really, really intense, talking about me being his wife. Very, very religious sort of emails. Me being his wife, and me sort of like being pregnant with his children, and him sending me a lot of photos of very personal details of his. He sent me photos of his passport, his visa, his bank statements, where I know exactly where he lives and things. And he's put me on bank details. He's falsified names put me on bank details. He's bought me a car. They're quite sort of intense. And then there was this one comment that sort of was like, okay, I just want people to know about it. He said, if Jesus will be mad at me if I don't take you to heaven with me, which I found threatening. And so at that point I decided that I needed to actually contact the police about it, so I did. And unfortunately, the police can't do anything. I was really hopeful when I contacted them, because the woman that I initially spoke to said, yeah, of course, we can get in contact with the local police of his, and sort of get them to do a welfare check and, sort of have a word with him about it. And then they were supposed to arrange somebody to come and speak to me in person. And the woman, the female police officer, rang me up that day that she was literally 15 minutes after she was supposed to be knocking on my door to say, oh, I'm supposed to come and see you today. Do you mind if we do it over the phone instead? So of course I said, yeah, that's fine. And she basically asked me what was going on. And she said, well, there's nothing that we can do. She said, basically, to contact your email provider and ask them to block his email. And that's all we can do. So, obviously, if you don't know this, if you've never experienced stalking or know anybody that has done before, it's actually really important to not just block and delete. With trolling and hate comments, yeah, block and delete. But when it comes to somebody's obsessions, if they are sort of quite threatening or consistent, or feeling very intimidating towards you, the last thing you want to do is block and delete them, because then you can't see what they're trying to say. What I needed more than anything is to actually keep those as evidence, which I felt like I needed to, just in case something were to ever happen to me. Now, thank God, we're in COVID times at the moment, so even if he wanted to come into this country, he wouldn't be able to. But yeah, so basically that happened, and I think I just let it affect me. If I look back on it in hindsight now, it's not, I don't want to dumb it down and say like it's not intense or it's not scary, because it is. It's terrifying, if I'm honest. But it's more terrifying that no one will do anything. Like, my police just won't help me. The worst thing is they've not even taken a log of it. They've got a log of my report, but nobody's. I told them that I literally have I have all of his documentation that he sent me. I know exactly where he lives, exactly what he looks like, his full name. I've even got family names, and there's nothing I can do. I get emails from his bank asking me to verify my email address because he's put me on his bank, but with his surname. And no one seems to see that there's anything wrong with that. He started sending me really large amounts of money on PayPal, which obviously sometimes people send 20 quid to say, thank you for your videos or whatever. But he was sending me large amounts and with really weird captions, and it was 3 or 4 times a day, and I was like, this isn't right. So I refunded him all of his money and blocked him on PayPal and said, please stop sending me any money. So that's when the emails started getting more intense. So anyway, that's happened. It has sort of made me feel very helpless, as though just no one that can actually protect me cares. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, that's happened. it seems to have died down a little bit now that I've actually made it so public, and that's why I wanted to make it public, because he just wasn't stopping. It just wasn't stopping. And, you know, sometimes I had emailed him back and just said, please leave me alone, you don't know me, please stop. And it just was persistent. You know, he bought me a car, he put me on bank details, he was telling me what the names of my children were. He said I've put stickers on the car because I thought the kids would like it, and things like that. Like, it's a lot. So it scared me, so I, you know, it shocked me into thinking, do I want to be on the internet anymore? Do I want to just go off the internet completely? But yeah, I guess I should have really planned what I was going to say. I just don't really know what to say, if I'm honest. It almost feels like I should stop this and re-record it, but I don't want to sit here and like have like a structured bullet point of what I want to put across. It's difficult to explain to you like how it made me feel, because I know that you would be hearing this and think like, why are you being so dramatic? I know, I get it, like it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it feels like it. Like it feels so terrifying that like he's the one that's contacting me. It makes me think like how many are there out there that have this level of obsession that aren't contacting me, or I've blocked in the past, that, you know, may want to harm me, or do you know what I mean? And it's to the point where like I don't want to go out on my own anymore. Like, I don't know. I actively go out without makeup on so that like people won't recognise me in person. But yeah. So anyway, that happened. So the police don't have a log of, you know, his details or anything like that. So that's why I wanted to go public, so that like you guys knew that something was going on. So if anything ever did happen to me, or I just left, you knew what was happening. So I didn't just disappear. And then Cookie and Squidge, me and Matt open up, and then we get a email on, I think it was Thursday, so I think it was last Thursday, so it would be late August. We got the email titled Cease and Desist, asking us that we needed to close our business and stop trading in 5 days of receiving that email, otherwise they will be taking legal action. The way that the email was worded was very threatening and condescending. They were basically, as you know, we are this, we are that, we have this, we have that. I've never heard of this business before. Before they'd emailed me. And, you know, we must protect our business, which I understand. Of course, everybody has to protect their own business. But the reason behind them sending us a cease and desist is because we share one common word within our name. And obviously, I mean, I have no legal reason as to not mention their business name, but I'm not going to, because I don't think it's right for me to do that. But the only comparison between our company and theirs is that there is one word that is the same in our business name. Other than that, that's where the comparisons end. But we were being accused of pretending to be them, and we were accused of having very similar logos, which, if I were to show you the logos, they look nothing alike. And it was was the fact of we've literally been open for 2.5 weeks. At this point we had just hit 700 followers on Instagram, so that was like how big we were. This company has over 100 times what we have on social media, which makes me assume that they actively go out and hunt for small businesses to do this too. And I think that it's hard because I understand why they would want to protect their business, and I feel hurt that they ever felt that we were trying to pretend to be them, because that's not the case at all. We are so passionate about this, and you know, we've been so excited about doing this together, and then sort of like somebody comes and shits on it. But it's all sorted now. We mailed them back. Matt wrote the email, not me, because I think if I'd have written the email, it would have come across a little bit too snarky and angry, because I was very angry. Not angry for what they have decided to do by contacting us, but angry at the way that it was done. It wasn't with any sort of kindness or any sort of appreciation for our hard work. It was sort of like, we've put our blood, sweat and tears into our company and you've tried to destroy that, and that's not true at all. And I was hurt by that sort of accusation. But in hindsight, we've seen actually that their business has gotten a lot of negative reviews, like a lot, and we actually think it's probably a blessing in disguise, because if we were to be associated accidentally with their business, it wouldn't be good for us. So we've changed the business now. We let them know that we were going to change it. We decided that we weren't going to sit down and, you know, let it boil. We were just going to be proactive about it and get it done. We are now Goodalls Bakehouse, which has taken my surname, which will be nice because when we get married, then it will be my maiden name as the company, which is something I can hopefully pass down to my children, which is nice. Because obviously I'm the female in the Goodall household, so I won't be passing down the name, but I'll be able to pass it down in the business, if that makes sense. I thought that was nice. And if anything, it's given us the opportunity to rebrand so that we can get more of the luxury aspect of our brand out. Because in hindsight, looking at our previous Cookie and Squidge branding, it's slightly amateurish and not really the feel that we wanted to go for. So in hindsight, I say thank you to that business. It's just unfortunately it's actually cost us about £500 in rebranding costs, then plus also about £300 worth of packaging stock that we are no longer able to use because it has Cookie and Squidge on it. But alas, that means that not only are we still obviously in negative for our business, but also we've lost any of the profits that we've made in the first 2.5 weeks. So we're back to ground zero, but it's fine because we've sort of reevaluated and we've got a plan of action of what we want to do and how we want to change things moving forward. So being positive about it, we are opening tomorrow. Today is Thursday the 9th of September. We're opening on Friday the 10th of September at 10 a.m. All orders over that weekend will have 10% off, and they will be made next week. So they'll be made and dispatched next week, just so we can get back on our feet a little bit. And yeah, that's where I've been. So obviously, as I said, I planned to go back last week to make an ASMR, and then this happened, and then I've been sat on my computer with Matt figuring out literally everything, because it's not even just, you know, creating a new logo and sticking it on a website. To remake the website completely, we had to remake and design and send off for all of the packaging. We had to also contact literally every business that we've worked with to tell them of our branding rename so that they know. So it's been stressful. But I'm going to be hopeful about it, and I feel a lot calmer now, and that's why I wanted to let you know. It's like, I'm not leaving. I was very seriously considering it because of the stalker incident, and it did scare me, but I've decided that the mistreatment by one person doesn't justify leaving all of the wonderful people, and obviously my safety, my family's safety as well, has to come first, which is a given, obviously, and I'm sure that all of you can completely understand that, and you would agree if you were in the same situation, because it's not just me I've got to think about my family, who also live in the home of which Sophie Michelle ASMR exists. And, you know, if anyone were to know, you've got to think that my surname is public knowledge, which means that my family are, you know, traceable, and it's just a little bit scary, and it means that I've got to make sure that they are safe, I am safe. And it made me think for a minute, maybe the internet isn't for me, but I don't feel like it's right for me to walk away from something that I've worked so hard for the past 4 years, and I don't want my spark to go out because of one person who is trying to ruin that. So yeah, I'm back. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to have really regular uploads. They probably won't be 2 or 3 a week, they'll probably be 1 a week. I'm not saying for definite. I'd love to start again, and I'd love to vlog as well. But we'll just see. I'm going to take it slowly. If at any time the intense contact with him comes back, obviously I may step away for a minute just to not encourage him, because now that I've gone so public with it, and now I've not posted, he's settled down, which has made things much more manageable, but I don't want to exacerbate his obsession again, just for my own safety. So I hope you can understand. I will be back with normal videos, hopefully this weekend, if not sometimes next week. I won't be giving up ASMR anytime soon. I just want to enjoy it. That's the thing, is I just want to enjoy it, and I'm sick of feeling like I can't enjoy something that I've worked so hard on, because people are scary. So yeah. Anyway, with that, thank you so much for sitting here and listening to me waffle on. I'm sorry that I didn't have a plan to sort of speak through this. It's been an absolute mess, but I hope you can understand. If you are in the UK and you are wanting to support us in this business, thank you so much firstly to everyone that has. It's been amazing, and we felt so loved and so grateful for it. We've loved working together so much. It's been such a blessing. And if you are interested in our grand reopening tomorrow, then I will leave the link for the website down below. The website won't be live until early tomorrow morning, just purely because there are a few last little things that we need to do before the relaunch. But I would be so grateful if you could. Of course, no pressure, because I completely understand that they are more sort of gift boxy items, so they may not be suitable for everybody's budget, and I appreciate that completely. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. thank you so much for being here constantly with me. Thank you to everyone that sent me lovely messages of support and advice and prayers during everything, and I really appreciate you. Just thank you so much for being here this whole time. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up on ASMR because I'm not ready to give up yet.